Um, good evening, everyone, depending on which time zone you're in. We at the Startup Club are a global community where we introduce startups to investors and to mentors in the startup ecosystem, and we organize online events such as this one, the third European Investment Conference, um, in order to since even nowadays with COVID, it's very hard to travel. So for investors across the world and startups across the world to be able to exchange, to challenge their ideas, and get some interesting feedbacks and potentially investment, obviously. So tonight we have two startups. We have TUEX, which is a tutoring um, uh, which will be presented by Alfred. And we also have Fruittorg, which is in the agribusiness, which will be presented by Anna. And we have three board members who will provide feedbacks um, after each pitch, which basically will consist of 5 to 7 minutes of pitch and then 15 minutes of Q&A with feedbacks therefore from the advisory panel, and if we have time, also from the audience. And also, please do use the chat in order to exchange contacts and further discuss even after the event. So first, I would like to introduce the three advisors. So Leonardo, if you could introduce yourself so that the startups and the public can know you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nice to meet you all. So as you can read from my name, I'm Italian. I'm part of the investment team of Plug and Play Ventures, and I'm based here out of Spain, but I work with the Silicon Valley office in California, and I hope to relocate there in a couple of months. So I'm an engineering background, so I work in VC, like in the startup world, like from since 2019. Basically, and so what maybe it's better if I give you like an overall view of what we do at Plug and Play. So basically in Plug and Play, like we do two main things that are very like related one to each other to the other. So on one side, like we invest from pre-seed to Series A. So usually we invest like our ticket size is around like 100K up to 250K, and we are a global investor. So like we have more than because like we have more than 40 offices worldwide in 20 countries that allows us to invest like in all the companies and in all the geographies. And but basically we try to position ourselves as a strategic investor because we have a second business arm that is our corporate innovation business, where we have more than 500 corporate partners that are asking us to be like their innovation managers. So like that's the way like we would like to provide values to the companies where we invest in by connecting to the best companies, the Fortune 500 corporations that are working with us to help them in their growth. And we have been around for a couple of years, and now like we invest actively in 200 startups per year by having more than 25 unicorns in our portfolio. And that's what we do.
Thank you, Leonardo. And Rovina, if you could introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Rovina. I am part of the investment team at Capnamic Ventures. Before this, I have also been an ex-founder at a pet food startup back in India. Also have a background at Ernst & Young, also at a company building team, also completed my MBA in Germany. Basically from Capnamic, we are a DACH-focused fund. So we mostly do investments within this region in B2B and B2B2C, mostly enterprise and software solutions. Apart from this, we've actually had a new fund since last year. This is the third fund that we're deploying money from. It's a total of a 190 million euro fund. And we've completed actually almost 10 to 13 investments already. So we're moving fast. The focus is on pre-seed and seed investments. And yeah, that's pretty much about us. We are based across Cologne, Berlin, and Munich. So pretty German in that regard. But yeah.
Thank you very much, Rovina. And the last but not least of the advisory board, it's David. If you could.
Hey guys, so maybe a little bit about my background. So started out as a founder and then moved over to investment banking and venture capital for over a decade now. Currently managing partner at Newzone Ventures, which is a pan-European venture capital firm focusing on overlooked markets, overlooked founders. So asset-light, highly scalable businesses where we can see the value proposition is across geos is kind of what we're investing in. Looking at the Series A stage onwards, tickets between, we have quite a broad range of tickets because we have a couple of different mandates, but they can go between kind of, you know, the 500K to 10 million type of range.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, before, sorry, I mentioned only 2 startups. We indeed have a third one. It's Quota. It's an Italian startup with Giovanni, who will be presenting as well. So we could start with TUEX. If Alfred, if you're ready, we can start with the pitch.
Make sure everyone can hear me clearly.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Okay. So share the screen. Can everyone see the screen? Well.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good morning. Well, I'm not sure your time zone. Maybe someone to good evening. My name is Alfred Chin, founder and CEO of TUEX Education. We are certified B Corp. The reason why I want to start this company is because I've been immigrant from Hong Kong to Canada for over 27 years. I still find that a lot of students cannot support their own tutoring service. Then myself and my co-founders, we all believe that education can change a person, education can save lives. I find it is very important, so that's why we want to start this business, and we want to provide affordable and quality education for everyone. In the last 20 years, I was an immigrant. I was in the banking industry and also in the tutoring business. I found there are so many problems in the marketplace. So first of all, accountability. So usually, before pandemic, usually people will just put a sticker or find a tutor through library or by word of mouth or online, right? Even during pandemic, people will just use the same kind of method. However, lots of tutors are not verified. So who is this person, right? And then some immigrant, especially when we are focusing typing in Canada or US, lots of people are from their own country. They don't speak language. They don't speak English. Some parents will tell me, "Hey, Alpha, I can't speak English, and how can I find a good English tutor for my son and myself? I need some help." And then some other tutors, some other parents will say, "Hey, Alpha, I'm just an immigrant, or I'm broke. I can't find the right fit. I can't find the right fit for the tutors because the scheduling is issue, and also I can't afford for so expensive kind of tutoring." And most importantly, the safety concern, because the tutors are unverified. Who is this person? Well, you got my note from what is a tutor named Alfred, right? Is Alfred a graduate from university or not? It looks like his profile, LinkedIn profile is very clean, but is he actually graduate or not? And most importantly, was this gentleman criminal or sexual criminal before? No one knows. So there's a lot of safety issue coming in the marketplace. So that's why we have 2 apps here, the TUEX and the TUEX Tutor app as a solution. Some people call us Uber in tutoring or Airbnb in tutoring. I'm okay with that, but sort of not like it. But then anyways, we do provide one-on-one and group classes. We have a multilingual. Right now, we do cover for English, Chinese, and French language, and more languages will be coming. And we have in-person and virtual tutoring, and we have the filter system that allows students or parents to search based on what the subject is need or what the time is need. And we have the emergency button for the students, and also we have the in-app messaging system, and also we charge the lowest commission rate in North America. So the global marketplace, I think, is a very important and also big. There are about 26 million students in North America, and if you're looking for the globally, there are about 1.29 billion students in the whole world. What I say is increasing number of students because when we target for the major city in North America, these cities are all immigrant cities. So the population are always increasing, particularly the people coming over not just by themselves, it's usually with their kids. So there's a consistency growth for the number of students in every immigrant city. So as a result, there will be no business cycle compared to real estate or retail shop, because there's always immigrant, there's always demand from the students, and that's why it's very good business and that's why we also have the consistent market revenue. So the global tutoring market, global private tutoring market is going to be 280 billion by 2027. And if we're just looking for online tutoring business in North America, we are looking for about 55 billion. So we'll probably get a piece of pie from there. So milestone, since I left the banking world, I started gathering this team. And then by 2019, we do have the beta launch. And when the pandemic started in March 2020, then that's how we officially launched. And good or bad thing, because of pandemic, we do have some tractions. Even Vancouver is very small population, but we do lock down for over 11,000 of booking hours, 7,000 registered students, and 700 registered tutors. And we do have close to 20,000 of downloads. And this year, we are looking forward to go to another city like Toronto, Montreal, and some other Canadian city. And next year, hopefully, we can go to the US market to expand. And we're going to build agency portal and to help the B2B business flow. And of course, within a 3 years time, then we're going to Europe and also Australia and Asia as well. Business model is simple. We just take the commission from the tutors, but the commission rate will be from 27 to 11%. The reason why we have a decreasing percentage scale because we want to keep the good tutors. So at the beginning, we do charge 27%, but then once we find out those tutors are good, then we'll be lower the tutoring, the commission rate, so that good tutors will be keeping on the platform. And majority of tutors right now are so happy right now because they are the lowest commission rate in North America. For the next 3 to 5 year plans, as I mentioned, that we are right now we're in Canada, in Vancouver particularly. So we're planning to go across the country and also going to south. So hopefully we can occupy more city in North America. And then once we have a solid business in North America, then we'll start going to Europe and Asia and Australia. As I mentioned, because right now Vancouver is so small, so that's why once we have the traction. And then I am very confident that we will have very exponential growth when we're going to other cities, because every city we going in, there are more population than Vancouver itself. So as a result, there'll be more students, more parents, and more tutors. So that's why the traction will be phenomenal. My team, I was from a banking background, and my IT co-founder was coming from AWS and also Wiser. Wiser is a Vancouver-based unicorn. They just raised a Series F from Goldman Sachs. So this guy is Kevin, is from a number 2 employee, and so he has experience from building the business from scratch to unicorn. And we're looking for 3 main capital injection to improve our marketing, particularly going to the new market, and also a little bit of marketing IT development, because we want to build agency portal to target a B2B, and majority of money will be spending on new market and also marketing. So because as I mentioned about the growth, and we do have confidence that within the next 3 to 5 years, I'm a little bit conservative, then we will hit about 10 million of revenue. Social responsibility, 1% of our revenue will go to the TUEX Education Foundation to support the low-income families for their tutoring service, and that's how we qualify for the B Corp. One of the reasons, of course, there's so many reasons, but this is one of the major reasons. And then, and also last year, we are very proud to be received an award called Excellence in Education. It was presented in Las Vegas, and unfortunately, because of pandemic, I didn't go. And this year, there's another organization called Education 2.0 will be giving us another award, and I'll be going there next week to accept the award to the award ceremony. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Do I have some time left? Because if I do have some time left, I do want to play a video.
Time's off, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. All right. So this is my contact, and I leave my LinkedIn information on the group chat. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So maybe we can start with, in your same order, maybe Leonardo, you can, if you have any question or comments.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, like, thank you very much for the pitch. Really interesting. I'd like to ask you, like, how much, like, you see, how do you verify like the identity and the skills of the tutor?
So it's very special because in Canada, according to Criminal Record Act in Canada, we do require the tutor to have like criminal record check and also vulnerable sector check. The vulnerable sector check is like to check the fingerprint to see whether they were sexual criminal or not. Because in Canada, there will pardon service. Criminal record check can be erased. So like that's why like we do both check. And then checking for those like criminal and also vulnerable sector check depend on the city of the police station. So some charge 60, some charge 100. But however, during pandemic, we are looking for another solution because like when we are going to the state, and then we may not require the physical tutoring because like majority of tutoring can be happening online. When it's online, so right now we are looking for some other partner can just simply do the criminal record check because I know for sure they are not touching each other. They're not seeing this person in person, right? So like we will be like reducing the security on that side, but doesn't mean that we don't do any check. So for that part, like I think we can reduce it for maybe like few Canadian dollars per check. Now we are still like talking to different partners and see which one will fit the best. Majority like we'll probably like looking for someone who can also both checking the Canadian system and also American system.
And on the skill side?
Sorry, on the kid side?
On the skill side, yeah.
Skill side? Oh, okay. So like because I do believe that tutoring, anyone who come into on the app to fill in the information, they want to be a tutor. So no one want to be like just like, oh, I want to come in and just get money because like we do require them to upload the IDs, we do require them to upload the certificate and ask them to write a profile. So like sometimes tutoring, from my experience for 20 years of tutoring experience, skills is important, but then like it's very hard to manage every single one skills because like I've been tutoring for over 1,000 of kids. I still believe that maybe about 10 of my students, they don't like me. It's about the chemistry. So like that's why I do believe that even though I have a whole list of questionnaires for asking skills, it doesn't matter, like because it's about experience. So the app itself is good because like you can change your tutor. We don't lock you down for 1 year. We don't ask you to pay a 1 year rent. If you don't like the tutor, it's okay. Just you don't have to rebook the tutor. Just change another tutor and find a tutor that you like. So that's why like we don't actually require that particular skill set because like European parents and Kenyan parents and then Asia parents, they're looking for different skill sets. So every family are different. So there's no one sex solution on that. Hope you answer your question, Leonardo.
Yeah, of course. And one question, like, and all the meetings like between like the tutor and the student basically are coming from our online meetings or also offline. So what's the app dynamics? Can you like elaborate more on this?
So like before pandemic, of course, like or even when pandemic starts, majority of session will be offline. And then since when the pandemic is getting very worse, then like especially on the beta stage testing, I would say 100% are offline. And then right now, I would say, well, in the last 2 years, like 100% are going online. But now it's getting about like 70% are online and then maybe 30% or maybe 80% online, 20% offline. Yeah, because like more requests, a recent request, like when, especially in Canada, for example, my country right now, my city, right now, the government is releasing the pandemic protocol. And then like more parents are actually requesting offline tutoring to see in person.
I see. So I will like thank you very much for the answer. I have like any other questions, but I think it's time like to leave the floor like to others.
Perfect.
Yeah, we can talk more offline. Yeah.
Yeah, Rovina, if you have any comments or questions.
Sure. First off, Alfred, thank you so much for the presentation and for detailing everything out. Really enjoyed it. I do have a couple of questions, maybe a little bit of a follow-up question from Leonardo's in terms of qualifying the tutors. Is there a minimum qualification that needs to be there for a tutor when they are onboarded?
Well, we only check the IDs and where they are and the transcript or like graduate certificate. Because the reason why we don't check with that detail, like for example, my daughter is only 8 years old. If I'm looking for a tutor for her, I may just want a high school kid for her. Maybe someone is like grade 10 or grade 12 kind of students. I may not look for a university graduate or like some professional teacher to tutor my daughter because she's young enough, right? I'm not looking for actually really professional one because I just want someone to pay with her or like get her to understand some concept. So that's why we don't have a set requirement because this is a high demand even for high school student tutoring.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as they provide a transcript and IDs, and I know that person is a real person, I'm okay with that.
Okay. The other question that I have is, what is actually preventing the tutors from cutting you kind of out of the equation, right? Basically, you have a session 1 or 2 times, and the parent is like, okay, I enjoy this tutor. Maybe I will just pay you and I can save on the 27%. Right? So what actually prevents them from doing that?
Very good questions. Now that's about parenting. Like for example, like the reason why I'm so confident on this because I've been in business for like 20 years. Even though by the time I was in banking industry, I'm still doing tutoring agency as a business, side business. So like what happened, what I found is like when I talk to, there are like a couple of times, I think 2 or 3 times that like in the last 20 years that like I got some complaint from the parents. The complaint is like when I do a follow-up call to the mom, hey mom, like how's the tutoring session go for the first sessions? She said like, no, sorry, Alpha, I'm not going to use your tutor. Why? Is there something wrong with that? Like, can I find you another tutor? Can I find you someone better, right? So the problem is like the mom told me that, you know what, your tutor come in and ask me whether I can cut you off. I find it's very unethical. I would not allow any unethical person to teach my kid because this is my only kid and this is my loved one. So academic is okay, it's very important, but I rather have someone is very ethical person to teach. As a result, I'm very confident so far as like what I can realize on my system, the chances for bypassing the system is very, very slim because the parents are looking for ethical tutors.
Okay. Maybe on another point with regards to your team. So you mentioned now it's the 3 of you, 5 of you, and then you plan to increase this. So maybe you can give us some information on who you plan to onboard, what kind of profiles, etc.
Yeah, more like I'll probably like because like those are advisor. So like the marketing person are the advisor. So who just helping out on the social media side. But I would more like thinking about like getting more like professional marketer on board to help out on the especially more on the pay ad or like the technical side on the social media because like right now is online marketing more, right? So that's why like, I need more money to like focusing on the marketing side. Because like for the technology side, I think we are good. I think like everyone who tried the app, if you're trying to download the app, download it and give a try. And then basically everyone thinking that it's smooth, the booking system is smooth, they're easy to talk to tutors, the tutors are responsive, and so on. I don't see any complaint on the tech side. So that's why now I want to focusing more on the marketing side.
Okay, thank you. So over to David.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Hi, Alfred. Look, thanks ever so much for your time. It's really appreciated. Just a few questions. I mean, just to touch on the team a little bit for me, I mean, maybe I missed it at the beginning because my system was a little bit shaky, but I mean, how did you guys come up with this idea or where does it come from? How did it originate and how did you think about structuring the team?
Okay, so like the original idea was from me because I was, as I mentioned, I was a tutor and also a banker. And then I tutor over 1,000 students in Vancouver. And then I still find that lots of students cannot afford the tutoring service. And as a disclosure, currently I'm also sitting on the board at the Canadian Liver Foundation to help our fundraising and help a lot of like charity events. I found out that like I want to support these kids like when they need help. But then like when they have no money, I'm also looking for, I can't do all the free stuff, right? So I can't do the free stuff regularly or like or full time on tutoring them for free, even though I want to help them because there's so many kids. So I have the foundation idea first. So foundation idea is like hire some tutors, even though let's say your charge is let's say $100 US per hour for consultancy, right? Now, but like because like you do have your living, you need your money to for your daily expense, right? You can't help me out with volunteer for let's say 5 hours per week. You can't. But however, they will how about I pay you like $20 or $30 or $50 US per hour, just reducing a rate, but you're helping those like low income families. Usually people are willing to help, and these people are more professional because like sometimes like you do charge $100 an hour regularly. That means like you have a way to teach, right? So like I'm trying to recruit those tutors. I still pay them regularly, and then they are helping the poor kids because like I just want the more kids to be happy, more kids to be educated. That's how we can cut off the gap in between the wealthy and the poor because like now we have more middle class. Now the middle class once they're coming out from the poor to a middle class, at least it's helping the community and helping society. So I have this foundation idea first. And then my question next is, so how can I have a sustainable business that continuous money to support this foundation? David, you may like this idea today. Okay, Alpha, like I cut you a 10,000 a check, but how about next month? How about next year, right? I can't just like rely on you for the one time of donation. So I was looking forward to a sustainable business. So that's why like, now in education business, how can I use the education business to make more money so that I can continue support? And that's how we got certified B Corp as well, because of the whole total concept and the idea. So like the whole idea is just really going to help a lot of kids, not just making money, but like using the money to help the kids. Because like once you make money to help the kids, now the kids go up, and a few years later they can be the tutors on our TUEX and then helping more people. So that like this company and the foundation is like going together. So that's the whole concept and idea.
No, I think that's interesting, and just so I understand a little bit more, then I mean, kind of we're seeing at the moment like a rise in the kind of ed tech space, right? I mean, a lot of players are coming to the market, and I didn't see or hear much about the kind of competition that you're up against. How do you look at the competitive marketplace, and kind of like how do you guys see yourself winning in a more competitive environment?
Now, the edtech space is like a lot of the competitors are providing content. Now, I'm just a marketplace. So it's a little bit of same, but a little bit different, right? So that's why people call us Uber in tutoring, because like we don't provide the vehicle. We only have the driver and the passenger. It's like we only have the tutors and also students. Now, and the thing about why the China shut down all the edtech business in China in one day, right? 40 billion of market share gone to zero in one day. Because think about in tutoring, the Oxford Dictionary will say like tutoring is actually helping someone to learn independently. That's what tutoring means, right? While a lot of edtech right now is focusing on the technology or the content, well, remember I mentioned that tutoring are usually focused on tailor-made service. Yes, group classes is okay, but it's the same kind of like students. Right? If the one is like the student is so smart and then like the other student is not smart enough, when they're in the same class, there will be some problem. Because like that's why the whole right now, some people don't like the public education system because there are so many people on there. And that's why at the same time, a lot of people willing to spend some money to go to private school because every class is smaller, right? So tutoring should be a one-on-one or small groups kind of tailor-made service, so that I can like really help your kids. Because like, for example, from my experience point of view, I've been over tutoring 20 years. If your son or daughter come to me within 1 hour, within 15 minutes, I can basically realize what is going on. But then with a group of 20, right, it may spend a little bit more time to figure out like how to, what is the problem. And if they're different level, it's very hard for me to find a better solution, right? So that's why like we are quite unique compared to the rest of the competitors, because like some people don't like it because we don't provide content. But then like, well, if we provide content, we are looking for billions of investments. When that one cannot fit everyone, because everyone level are different.
Okay, no, that's fantastic. I have some other questions, but I'll let other people take a chance at least.
Yeah, and then
Thank you, David.
we ran out at the Q&A, but thank you again, Alfred, for presenting. And once again, please, everyone follow up in the group chat, over emails, LinkedIn, or whatsoever, so that you can keep asking him questions to know more about the company and advice. Thank you. And next we have Anna from Fruittorg. If you're ready, Anna.
Yes, I can share the screen.
Perfect.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. My name is Anna. I'm the co-founder and project manager in company Fruittorg. And the next few minutes, I would like to tell you about the project which reduces the food waste to zero level and directly connects businesses with the producers. Now, 1.3 billion tons of products are thrown away. On their growth, spent 1.4 billion hectares of land. What caused this food waste? Limited access of producers to businesses, surplus harvest, supply chain disruptions, and mistakes in production processes. So we created Fruittorg, B2B Agromarketplace that generate demand for producers and provide businesses with a short food supply chain. And we have got a global mission to save 1/3 of waste production in the world. Fruittorg ecosystem consists of gathering all the producers in one place, concluding agreement on the platform, payment security, logistic operators, and quality control. So producers get direct access to the market, fair trade, and time which they can spend on business development. Businesses get the best price offer on the relevant product, in-time delivery, simple landing process, and fresh and quality products. Our business model is really simple and based on subscriptions, placing ads on the platform, and sales commission. Now we have got a really high potential on the market because even this year was invested more than $1 billion into Agromarketplaces. So our market is really huge, and for the next 5 years, we are planning to cover 2% of the market. And we have got a really high chances and opportunities because we have got some really crucial advantages over our competitors, such as fruit and vegetables direct specialization, global mission, and also automation that's accomplishing our client on every stage of trade process. We've got the prototype of web platform with ability to place ads, connect with the seller, and search for the most relevant products. Before the war, we already got 400 pre-registrations. We signed memorandums with associations and had the existing database of the contacts. Now we're looking for investors. And our goal is to develop the MVP and attract 300 clients. This investment we will spend on R&D, marketing and sales, and operation costs. Our team consists of people who are experienced in agro, tech, and digital areas. Also, we have got a really strong advisors on board, which are experienced in agro food tech, agri-financial, food safe, food security, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Thank you for your attention. I'm open to different questions.
Thank you, Anna. And yeah, good with the QR code. You can leave it on display so that people can find your contacts and reach your website when we during the questions. So thank you very much for your pitch. And this time we can start with the advisors from the other side. So David, if you want to start.
Yeah, sure. Thanks ever so much for the presentation, Anna. It was very quick and insightful. But just a little bit of question really around where you are with the product at the moment. I mean, how far have you got along with your journey? So, I mean, to date, really.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the question. To talk about roadmaps and our plans, we already had some achievements. We participated in different boot camps and different programs. And also we became the winners of Agro Hackathon and had the chance to represent Fruittorg on the expo in Dubai. We passed the first stage of Poland Prize and became the finalist in Ukrainian Startup Fund. We started to create the marketing strategy, establishing cooperation with Ukrainian associations. So our next plans is to create the brand strategy, start the MVP development, build the agro community around the project, and also at the beginning of the April, we will pass the second stage of Poland Prize. And will attract existing users to our platform because we have got a large base of contacts. Analyzes the first data which will be collected and build an architecture of beta version.
Okay, no, thanks. And just so I understand clearly, I mean, how are you guys looking to use the system to integrate into the current supply chain? Are you looking at doing some upgrades at the farmers, for example, with sensors or new data collection? I mean, or is there also a model for you to be able to push along the process, kind of the key actors to make sure that you get some form of virality in the product offering?
Okay. Yes, we are planning to collect the data. And on this data, sorry, I'm a bit messed up. Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, sure. No, so one part of it was like, you know, how deep are you integrating into the actual end-to-end chain, right? So one of it would be kind of if you were a platform on top, everybody linked into you, and you just did the kind of basic tracking and tracing, and you know, the deepest level would be sensors and tracking codes all the way along each individual process to make it happen. But that kind of those two kind of, you know, integrations at either end means how difficult it is to scale versus how good of the data collected and how valuable your product is at the end, right? So that was one question. And the second question was around how do you view the kind of virality of it? So how are you guys thinking about being able to push this through the system so it does become an end-to-end product rather than just, you know, useful here, but not, maybe these guys are not signing up because they're not getting it pushed through to them. So two questions.
Okay, thank you. So to talk about the first question, of course, we are planning to make it a very deep product. But for the first stage, we cannot do this. But we are planning to make the whole supply chain, and we are planning to follow our clients on every stage, and to make this process of trade really simple and directly connect them, so they have no chance to collaborate with other companies, because everything will be in Fruittorg, and it will be like the main helper, so they will save their time and will do exactly everything with us. And about next question. I don't know.
It's okay. It's not a problem. I think you kind of answered it anyway, so no worries. Don't worry about it. I'll let somebody else ask a question before I hug their stage.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Yeah, Rovina, if you have any questions or comments.
Sure. Thank you, Anna, so much for the presentation and for being very quick. One point that I did want to ask was your automated quality control, where you have eventually put in IoT solutions. Can you maybe give us some information on that?
Yes, okay. To talk about general automated quality control, it is based on 4 stages, like certificates and documents, which will be in the producer's profile, partnership with local quality agents, a producer's rating, and IoT solutions. It will be not for the first stage and the first collaboration, but to see to the future development and on the next stages of our project, we are planning to collaborate with farmers, which is large producers, and to provide them with IoT solutions to make the machine learning and to make the automated quality control more powerful, and to make the quality better.
Okay, understood. Okay, so this is more something that is probably in the long run that you're looking
Yes.
to figure out. So, okay, no problem. My other question was around your spending structure. You have 50% in R&D. Can you tell us a little bit more about what exactly you mean by R&D?
Yes, it means development, and also creating the application, because in Asia, more than 70% of producers use apps and not the web version of the platforms.
And maybe just one maybe comment. Would this be in a regional language?
In language of the, it will be in the language of country in which we will be.
Yep, that's all I have.
Thank you, Rovina. And Leonardo, if you have some questions.
Absolutely. So, like, congratulations and thanks for the pitch. I'd like to ask you about like the partnerships that you are working on and you have in place regarding the supply chain. And can you elaborate more on like the test that you would like to have in terms of like the basket size and which kind of the businesses are involved into the platform?
Okay, to talk about partnership, we already signed memorandums with associations and are in process of negotiations with associations from Poland, fruit and vegetables associations. Now before the war, we talked with some logistic operators and also with different bank systems. And also we have been talking with different Ukrainian and Poland supermarkets to have the collaboration with them futures. Yeah.
Oh, great. And in terms of the businesses where like the target businesses like that you want to collaborate with, are there like supermarkets, restaurants, which kind of business are you working on, or would you plan to onboard?
Yeah, okay. So we have got our main clients will be retail, HoReCa, processing industry, and dark stores and dark kitchen. We are focusing on them.
Makes sense. And in terms of the logistic provider, so how do you onboard them? Because, for example, if I'm a producer, I might have a small small basket size, and that will not be like convenient for the logistic provider. So can you tell me like what's your idea on that?
Yeah, okay. We will collaborate with local and international logistic operators. Local, it can be small operators, or it can be private operators. So for this reason, it can match to every size of the order.
I see. And just out of curiosity, how did you came with the idea? I mean, like, so what was like the trigger that helped you like to fund this company?
Okay, thank you. It's a nice question. I like it. So our co-founder Sergey, who is already present here, he had the business, fruit business, and so this idea caused because it was his problem, and he couldn't find a solution because everybody now collaborating with intermediaries, so they lost money, they lost time because it's not convenient. So it took too much time to do the work and to find the clients. And he came up with this idea to make his life and the lives of hundreds of farmers
I don't know if that's just me, but I think Anna froze.
Anna, I think we can hear you now. Yes.
She's either really good at sitting still or she's frozen again. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the camera froze. Let's Sergey. So yes, I see you're in the audience as well. Do you want to take some questions, or should we move on to the next startup? Well, I think maybe they had problems of connections. So let's move on to the next startup. So the last startup we have today is Giovanni from Quota Rent. So Giovanni, you can start to introduce your startup and show your screen. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me tonight, and good night or good day for one hour on this part of the world. Let me know if you can see my screen and you can hear me properly.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so I'm Giovanni, founder, CEO of Quota, the tools that aiming to making life easier for landlord, tenants, and professionals in the real estate rental industry. So just a bit of context. The real estate market is still growing very strong, but especially is the rental part of this business is growing strongly, and especially in the southern part of the world, the southern European, where this trend was not so strong in the previous year. And this is demonstrated by the higher percentage of people that is living in a rent instead of buying, and by also investment in a technology related to real estate, but also insurance and fintech linked to the real estate industry. Is a strongly intermediated market. So there are always some professional in the middle of any transaction, real estate agents, servicers, and asset management and build to rent fund. Lately arrived on the southern part of Europe, and also it's an asymmetric market because there is a lot of tenant that are looking for some living solution, but not so much offering. So this make a kind the bargaining power of the tenants limited. Okay, so all this element is bringing together with the needs to digitalize process and to make more efficient the processes is bringing a great new opportunity for business. Okay, yes. As I said, in this play, there are always trained three characters: the tenant, the landlord, and some professionals, and they have different challenges to overpass during this year. The one example I think here, one is the operational optimization for professional, transparency and security for professional and landlords, and the financial barrier of tenants that normally have to pay high cash rent deposit or other type of guarantees. Okay, and another important things, beside many startups and company things that in the future the middleman will be eliminated, our analysis say that this is going just in the opposite direction. Technology and digitalization will help the middleman and the professional to become stronger in this market, to make the things better, but they will not disappear. And this is very important because if you try to solve each of the pain of these different actors separately, we will never come with a compelling solutions. And after our analysis, we realized that during the life cycle of the rent process, especially the beginning, is where there is the most number of interaction and frictions, and this is where you can solve most of the problem. And this means that if you are able to extract 3% of the value of the total market in the rental business, and here you see some number just for the Spanish market where we are based, you are able to create a 400 million business. So if we aim to get just the 10% of this market, we can create a business of 24 million in revenue just for a country like Spain. Okay, as I said, for complex issues, you need a complete offering. You cannot go with simple solution. This is because we create a product, the services that is built first of all on an element that is helping to create trust, which is called Quota score. Is basically an algorithm that help to select, process, and scoring the right tenant between different candidates, and provide a certificate with different parameters that help you, the tenants or the professional, to choose the landlord or the professional to choose the right tenant, and see the level of transparency and solvency that these tenants can offer. Once these tenants pass the filter and are chosen by the professional, by the landlord, we can apply two levels of protection. One is represented by a rent guarantee product, which is paid by the tenant. And if this is not enough, we can also add an insurance product that is covering the landlord in case of a missing payment or damages to the property. So the onboarding process is very smooth. It's very lean, and is based on 4 steps. It's done automatically, and this is allow to save a lot of time and effort in terms of visits and administrative tasks to the professional. Okay, and as I said before, all tenants that pass our scoring are coming automatically with a 3-month guarantee to replace the cash deposit, which is totally free, by the way, for the landlord. So this is just a comparison between the previous model that is used until now, which is normally asking a higher cash to prevent the lack of trust and the eventual damages and missing payment, and then sometimes an insurance that normally is cost very it's very expensive. It's something between 4 and 5% of the one year rent, and this is be paid by the landlord. Meanwhile, with our system, as we show in this slide, we create first the Quota score, which adds an element of trust, and so allow to request less cash. And then we have the second element, which is the Quota product, the rent guarantee, that is paid by the tenant, and if it's needed, in addition, an insurance product that is paid by the landlord. Our model is based on 3 different revenue streams. As I said, one is the Quota scores, the subscriptions. It's based on the volume of scoring that is performed by the professionals, and in future it will include also different feature for other type of tasks performed by the professionals. There is the commissions on the rent guarantee paid by the tenants, and the commission and the insurance premium paid by the landlord. Here you can see a screenshot of how a quota score looks like and the different types of data sources and among the data sources that are used to create this certificate. Here's an overview on the professional platform and the onboarding system, all the technology that we are built by ourselves or the integration that we made with other tech providers and data providers. A bit of comparison with other successful model, we picked basically the best practices of different models and try to fuse in one single platform. And this is the comparison on our domestic market in Spain, where we are some competitor, but as I said before, they address just one side of the problem, which is keep completely uncover the other problems. We think it's the right moment to bet on a company like us, because there is a huge needs for investments and a renewal of the industry, both real estate, insurance, and fintech applied to the real estate, and also because of the selection of the old technology we put inside our product. This is some test. We started to commercialize our product in December. Okay, we are a 1-year-old company, but we already achieved some satisfactory goals from our point of view. This is our roadmap in terms of business growth. This is our team, as you hear, very diverse in terms of skill profile, age, and backgrounds. We already have a venture capital fund which invest in us in the first pre-seed fundraising, and also we are part of the DAS innovation program. DAS belong to Ergo Group, which in turn belong to Munich Trade Group, and we have 2 executives as advisor. They also build some product exclusively for us, and we also have some professionals from real estate in our advisory board. At the moment, we are launching our seed round, which will basically split in 2, initially with the first convertible note, and then the rest by an equity seed round. And basically, we will be spent between operation, technology, and especially market and sales at the moment, with some clear goal set for the immediate future. Some number you can analyze maybe after in terms of how our look. Yeah.
Maybe unfortunately the time.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
You can show the financials. By the way, maybe the advisors can ask questions on them.
Okay.
The Q&A. Thank you. Rovina, if you want to start.
Sure. So thank you so much, Giovanni, for the presentation. And of course, the rental market is definitely one topic that is constantly spoken about. I just want to understand from the perspective of competition, right? We have so many companies out there right now using the same business model, more or less. How do you sort of see yourself competing against them?
Okay. Thank you for the question. So if we're looking for the domestic point of view, and when I say domestic, I say Spanish, because we are based in Madrid. I think the timing is perfect. There is some, as you say, player here, but basically they try to offer something to the tenant, and the problem here is I say that this is a completely asymmetric market. So basically, even if you offer product an alternative to the cash deposit, the tenant doesn't have any bargain power. So basically, and if you offer, so basically most of them, as I see, they use the B2C approach, and they are failing. So I think we are the first one which are going directly to the professional and say, look, I give you a platform that's a different feature that you can offer in turns to your customer in order to make your work easier. And this is the things that is really changing the game now, because people look other company came at the beginning thinking that the solution will eliminate the middleman, and as I said at the beginning, the market is going in the opposite direction. So I think the time it's okay for us. So I think we get the right approach, and And also, if you look to the market size, I think at the moment there is space for everybody to have a decent market share. This at least in Spain. And if you look to other countries, there is no basically big, apart from UK and US, rest of Europe or South America, you don't have strong players launching in here. So probably if we arrive to those markets, we will find still enough market size to conquer. I don't know if it's complete my answer, or you want to listen something from more from tech point of view, or what you.
No worries, it's all right. I just mostly wanted to understand around your positioning compared to your competitors, and that's kind of okay. So your fundraise, so it's a 1 million equity seed round, and I don't know, maybe in your expansion plan there is 2023 2 cities or Italy, and then 2024 is Germany, right? Germany, France, Portugal.
Sorry, let me check. Okay, yeah, basically from now until the Q1 of 2023 is basically consolidate Spain. Okay, actually we are a country. I mean, we are not a physical company. So basically, we can provide our services countrywide. I mentioned here the main cities because it's where most of the transaction happening, and especially for the type of customer that are young professional who are switching city now and there, and they are all normally stay not more than 3 years in the city, and or in another specific apartment. So until next year, the idea is to consolidate Spain, and that's to start to test Italy, and then after that, I mean, we pick Italy because we see the most logical steps to go in. But on the same,
why would you say it's the most logical?
Well, there is a very similar regulations, okay, and some of the city are basically having the same type of I say a KPI that we measure to start in Spain. So basically regulation and type of the market is very similar, okay, and there is zero competition. Meanwhile, if you look to France or Germany, there is 2 players that are doing something similar. So maybe we have to go with a stronger financing, at least, or stronger value proposition.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Rovina. Leonardo, if you can ask questions or give any comments.
Absolutely. So like Giovanni, like nice to meet you. Like great presentation. I'd like to ask you. So what's the what do you do like with the tenant? So how do you verify them? I think like you verify sort of the financial perspective of the tenant, like to sell like the insurance product. So can you elaborate more on this?
Yeah, well, we collected different bunch of data. Some of the data is provided directly from the tenant, and someone is provided through documentation analysis. And then we connect also, we use credit bureau like Equifax. Basically, we won a challenge launched by Equifax. We're one of the 2 startups selected by them to use their data. And also we are using open banking technology in order to include in our scoring algorithm. We also provide to the tenant the possibility to link reference by other co-tenant or landlord or real estate agencies. So we do also kind of social scoring. And so basically we put, this is some of the element that we include to make the scoring. So on the Quota score, you don't only see how much money this person has, or you see also the spending behavior, and you also take into account the transparency. So if 2 people have the same, let's say the same income levels, but someone is show me these income levels through open banking, he has a better score than someone that just put a documentation upload.
Absolutely. Okay, I got it. And so how, for example, in terms of go-to-market, so are you like partnering with some property management companies? So what's your strategy on this?
Yeah, basically the main channel is realtors and asset managers. Okay, so they are the one that has basically the goal here, because they're the one that owns the apartment, that or at least decide the apartment. So normally we partner with these people. They use our scoring system and they pay us for using the scoring system. So because they not only use the scoring to select the right tenant, but they also avoid to organize a lot of visits. We showed them that they can save up to 70% of the visits before they, because normally the process is they organize a visit and they ask documentation and they make the check. So and they receive a lot of requests for each apartment. So what we are proposing them, okay, we have your personalized link or QR code. You give to all the people that write you for a specific apartment, and we make the scoring and the documentation collection before you organize the visit. So basically, you only make the visit to the 3 out of 10 that are a certain level of transparency and solvency for you. So basically, this is the main channel that we close sales. On the other side, we are also launching internet campaigns to collect tenants profiles, and if it's the case, we match the tenant request with the realtor offering. But this is a secondary. This is we use more to add more value to the platform and collect a lot of data. So maybe let me show you a specific slide. Maybe it's more clear. Yes, here. See, so basically the right side where we close sales, okay, where we make money at the moment. This comes to the real estate agencies or asset managers. On the other side, we are collecting with a very little cost a lot of data and profiles. So it's very, very rarely we match the left side with the right side, but having all those data, we think that in the future will have a lot of value for us.
I see. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really insightful.
Thank you, Leonardo.
You're welcome.
David, if you have some questions as well.
Yeah, so rather than a question, maybe a little bit of a comment from my side would be to I like the presentation. However, I feel that there's probably a little bit too much written word on it, and maybe a little goes into a little bit too much depth. I mean, and you should probably have several. I don't know what you have internally, obviously, but maybe you should have kind of a presentation that you do when you're online like this, or you're presenting to investors. Maybe then a kind of a lighter version of that presentation to kind of send with an introductory email, and then maybe use this one as, once you've gone through that initial conversation with these guys and they're looking to dig in deeper with you, this would be a fantastic one at that stage when they can kind of look into the kind of more detail. I just think that sometimes what tends to happen is when it lands on a kind of an analyst's desk, what can happen sometimes is they look at it and go, oh, okay, let's just skip through it. These guys are explaining too much. Maybe they've not got anything underneath type of thing, etc. So just that's just on my side.
Totally agree with you. Thank you, David. Totally agree on
just to be transparent, but otherwise I don't really have many questions for you at all, to be honest. I think that you presented quite well. It's clear what your kind of proposition is here. I guess the only one question that I have kind of lingering in the back of my mind is, you know, how do the unit economics kind of look like in the business on an ongoing basis? But I think maybe you're too early in that kind of journey to kind of understand yourself. So other than that,
at the moment, no, it's thank you for the question. It's very relevant. It's and the thing is, this is basically, it's also linked to the way the presentation is done, because we have also a version where we just have image and start to tell a story and try to pick. But our experience, it's also that we want to just investor that really have a connection with the real estate world, because it's a complex problem. So many times a lot of investor comes with very biased interpretation. They say, okay, you have to pay the tenant. They don't understand that, as I say, the tenant basically here doesn't much power, so you really have to go through the B2B. And in terms of the unit economics, basically at the moment we are measuring the number of ongoing business or ongoing discussion with Realtor asset manager multiplied by the probability of closing. It's a very B2B, and it's I would say a mid-term cycle sales. So normally we need between 1 and 3 months to really close the sales. And even if at the moment, so this is because if you see in our business plan, in the first stage, the first year, we won't invest in the manpower in terms of create a kind of sales machine methodology where we close B2B sales. And starting from the second year, because we put more value in the technology, then we can scale faster. So at the moment we are measuring basically more the sales machine KPIs. So how much deal we can put on the funnel and the percentage or the probability of closing this deal.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I have to ask, I know I probably shouldn't, but I just want to know, like, once you've gone through the kind of sales process with these guys, do you ask them to sign up for a subscription there and then, or do they just utilize the platform as and when they need to?
No, it's a subscription, but one of they clearly see advantage when we discuss with them the possibility to avoid the document collection. So say they see the saving time and administrative task as a clear value, so they pay for it. And also some of them is using the rent guarantee as a marketing tools. So they are telling to their customer, if you use my agency or my asset management company, I provide you screened, let's say, tenant with a higher level of solvency, and they all comes with a guarantee. So basically, they are using these two tools as marketing tools in front of their customer. And also, we have a pricing where some of them we give the scoring for free if we get enough amount of rent guarantee. So let's say it will be discounted by the end. So we are with some of these pricing schemes.
Okay, no, that's interesting. Well, good on you. Okay, that's it from me. Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for in the board for the questions. And once again, even after the event is over, please feel free to still use the chat. Feel free to, as I said, to contact every investors, every founder, and start to continue exchange all the people in the audience. I received a few questions as well. Personally, I will transfer them to the founders. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending. And we have other events such as this one happening. Some of them are industry specific. So please have a look online at the Startup Club website where you can find all the upcoming events. And thank you everyone for attending.
Thanks ever so much for your time, guys.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.